Hello everyone, I'm River Fox and welcome to the channel, and this is the Twine Peaks Endurance build series. This will be a series of videos which I will showcase each of the amplifiers in Twine Peaks and the builds that I have set up for them. Now this will work in both your Storm Shield defenses and your endurance runs, and some of the designs are my own unique designs. Some I have got from other YouTubers online, so if I do know who the author of those designs is, I will link them in the description down below. There will also be a link in the description for the Twine playlist, which will cover all of the videos in this series. And there will also be some links of my Discord and Twitter accounts, so if you do have any free time, please do check them out. These have taken a really long time to build and test and get everything set up, and it's going to take a really long time to go through each of the videos as well. So if you do buy anything from the Fortnite store, please consider using code RiverFox, as it will help me out a great deal. And if you do go on to enjoy the content, then don't forget to hit that like down below and smash that subscribe before you go. If you turn on the notification bell, then you will always get updated of all my content when it comes out. But without further ado, we are going to get straight into the Twine Peaks Endurance build. Okay, now this one then is called the Devil Amplifier, and this one is just to the north of the map. In my case, it is the E Amplifier. Now, there are two directions that they will be able to spawn from. They will spawn over from the west and from the north. Now, you don't get many waves that they will attack on this amplifier. It's only set for amplifier 6, wave 6, but you can get random spawns as well, which can spawn at this amplifier. Now this one has been based off of another Chedic design, especially the one over to the west that is pretty much an identical to his design. So I'll only briefly go over this one, but I will link in the description for Chedic's channel. You can check out his video over there. So then if we just get over here first of all, now there is a lava bomb shift over in this one as well, so there are some certain structures that do need to be placed in certain places, but your spawn points then will be over here. Now I'm just changing my weapon over. Okay, now your spawn points then mainly will be around this spot here. You will get the odd one which are going to spawn down the bottom down here as well. So there are two directions from here that they can come up. They can come up this ramp up here, or they can come straight across this, or they will go over that way. So for over here, we have got a lot of block off set here. I mean, you can block this extra square in here, but to be honest, I didn't find there was really any need. Now we have got 3 wall launchers on here, which hopefully are going to fling them down on here, or they will fling them over back to the spawn point, or hopefully just over the top down there. If they do come up this way, then we do have 2 broadsides over here, and we've also got our wooden floor spikes on the floor as well, just to help give them some damage as they walk back up. And when they get back up to the top, then they will hit these 3 launchers. Now we didn't bother putting any more on these ones, these 3 squares here, because hopefully then they will make their way over this way, and we'll go into that in a moment. So behind this, all we do have behind here, we just have the edited floor, which is going to go all the way across. I didn't find there was any problems with them trying to bash through that wall over there. I didn't have any problem with that at all, but they will spawn, they will sometimes bash through. If they do, then when they hit this, they tend to make their way through there and fall down into the main tunnels. So we do have an identical then for the second row. Again, no end piece needed over there, and we don't need any end piece on this bit either. For the third row, then we do have just the backwards stairs. or you can have your edited cone into the ramp. So that will be for those 3 tiles. Now, because we are going on to the actual sort of step way down, where we've got some little pieces here that they can go down, so we have got a floor piece under this as well. That will be blocked off then with a wall along here, and just for good measure, a final layer of stairs as well. And of course there will be floor pieces under all of those pieces as well, apart from that end piece there, which you don't really need one, just to make sure that they can't get through any of those. And to be honest, I don't get very much problem with that at all. Majority will make it to the main tunnel, which we will briefly go into now as well. This is the spot that I'm going to place my base, which hopefully will strengthen majority of this lot around here, and also majority of our trap tunnels and our sort of, well, it's not so much a lobber shield, this is what's got our tire traps on it. So we will come around here. Now if they do come around at this point, we've got a couple of floor freeze traps, we have some more wooden spikes here, sound wall and launcher on there as well. And we've also got 2 broadsides, a broadside on that side and another launcher here, because as they will be making their way towards this point, then the launcher will hit them, they will get flung over there. Hopefully that launcher then is going to fling them back out here, and then they've got to go through the sequence again. If they do try to come over this way at all, then we do have a wall launcher there with a sound wall as well, just to prevent them wanting to go through any of these bits in here, because we do have a little bit of block off behind these, which are just literally some edited cones and also an edited floor piece as well. So that will block them there. So they're going to be coming up through this main part, which of course another sound wall, and we have wall and floor launchers, which are going to be flinging them all back out. And of course we do have our ceiling drop traps up here as well, which are absolutely brilliant. So that's the main part. Now you do need to make sure that this square is left blank. If you do fill anything in here, then it will affect the lava ball over there. We've got another sound wall on here. We have our tar pits and some more launchers and some more sound walls, just to basically send them back as many times as you can. And yeah, literally the only things really that ever get up to this point are your smashers. You will get them sort of coming up here, but generally with all of our tire traps and all the other traps as well, they don't tend to make it out past this wall here, which is good. You may get the occasional fridge guy which might make it through, but again, not very much. Now I'm not going to go through every single piece of the build for this one, because this is the Chedic design. Then I will link in the description down below a video for that, which will show you everything that you will need to know and every single structure and piece for this, because there's certain pieces, especially these here, that do need to be in certain positions and things to make this work. So do check that out in the description. Now for the north, now if we just get over here, we do have as well, we have a lava bomb which will be coming right down at this point, and our spawn points then are around this all the way along here. Now I'll go into this bit in a moment. That is a very annoying and frustrating section there, but you can occasionally get a spawn point right up there. So these first 2 structures here can sometimes get taken out, so just to make sure that nothing can really make their way around and go the long way round, then I have got some pieces there, but I will go into that in a moment. So there's our lava ball. Okay, so if they are going to be spawning around here, then they have 2 points that they may go. Now they can either go straight that direction through all of our traps there, or they can come along up these. Now there are certain points that they will head for, which they can head up this sort of steps there, or they can head along this way. Now, I did have some major problems with this amplifier. This is probably the only one that I have had a lot of problems and a lot of knocking and rebuilding of it. So in the end, I got so fed up, and I literally added loads and loads of tire drop traps up here to catch any husks that come around this way, because they do tend, for the annoying reason, to want to head up this lot where you can't build more than they will head through there. So I did add in all these tire traps up here. Now if they do get up this point, then there is a way up through here. So all we have done, we have got some wall pieces which will run all the way along, and over here then we do have our floor piece with a basic cone on top, which is just going to give that extra layer. And then we do have then another blockade here, which behind this we do have the edited floor piece, and we have the backward stairs or edited cone into a ramp, whichever you prefer, and that will be all blocked off as well. So they don't tend to want to head up this direction, plus as we have got the tire traps here as well now, then they don't tend to stay at these points too long. So they will head over to this direction. Now I'm still in a little bit of testing with this. I don't know whether to keep the wall darts or go back to the broadsides, which I did have on there, because I don't know, they don't work as well as I would like them to. But even same with the broadsides, they tend to like heading for this spot here, and they will break at this wall, and then they will break at this floor, and then they will break at the cone behind it to get through. So again, I do have some electric fields here, so that anything that has made it past all of our tire traps there, then they will at least get hit by our electric fields up here. And underneath these pieces, which will run all the way along here, we do have our gas traps, because if they do come underneath trying to bash up through this floor piece, then the gas trap is going to be giving them constant damage and hopefully preventing them getting through. We do have a wall launcher there just in case they do come up this far, but they don't tend to want to come up to this bit. It is normally this spot here that they will come up to. So that is pretty much for that section there. Quite basic and straightforward. The tire traps do majority of the work here. We do have a wall launcher in there just in case they do come at this point, but as I say, they tend to either head up here or they will head through our main tunnel. Now for the main tunnel, of course, we have our launchers again at every spot that we can, and we do have our broadsides, which are going to be bouncing back and forth through the lot. I'm not sure yet whether I will change that sound wall into a broadside or not. I haven't quite decided, but we got the floor freeze traps and the tar pits then on the floors. So at every point through this, then they are going to get hit by our launchers, and our broadsides are going to be bouncing back and forth here, there, and everywhere. We have a launcher over here, so that will hopefully launch them into this pit. They'll get stuck in there, take damage from our broadsides going back and forth. If they do make it out from that point, then of course we got more broadsides and more broadsides there as well, and they will eventually then aim for this here. Now I left this wall as a full solid wall, because I wanted to see how many structures I might have left, and if I have got any spare, then I might add in a wall light on both sides as well, just to stun them that little bit more. But generally the only things really that get up this far are the smashers, and they don't really, now that I've added in all the broadside, all the ceiling drop traps, they don't tend to get out from this point. But we did leave this bit open here because I found if I did block that off, then they would just charge at it automatically. So I've just left it like that just to make sure there's only this tiny bit of gap here that they can get through. Now, this block off over on this side, this is what we have got underneath there, which is what has got our gas traps on. So the solid floor piece with the gas trap on it there, and we have the cones on top. I've left this one blank. This is where I will place my base, which will be at the main level that we want to get any of the base ability, the base explosion going off. And yeah, it's literally just sort of cones and block offs everywhere just to block them from wanting to get in at any point. And we do have this then set a mini sort of lighthouse here, just so that I've got somewhere that I can stand, and also somewhere that if the smashers do make it up this far, then at least they will sort of head towards these rather than smashing any of our other structures. We do have the gas traps running just up to this point here, because once they get past here, they normally tend to come out like this to go across to get round anyway. So if anything does actually make it that far, there's no point any more gas traps because they won't be doing any purpose under there. So you may have to take out the odd one here and there if they do make it past that point. But from the testing and test runs that I've done, depending on what waves you do get will depend on whether there is any sort of shooting that you may need to do of husks or smashers. If it is generally just the wave 6 that this gets attacked, then you don't get too many smashers in that wave, and it's normally pretty okay to deal with. So yeah, that is pretty much it for there. This also acts as a bit of a lobber shield as well, because they tend to sort of come in a bit rather than standing all the way back over there, so they won't be able to lob and fling over at the amplifier. So this part here, now this is the annoying piece here. Now we have got literally just a edited floor and a backward edited cone into a ramp along this with just a wall behind it. I have got a ceiling filled in there because sometimes this wall will get taken out, so at least anything that does come in through this point should get zapped and killed as they come in. Now this is why it is such a problem. It's literally as though it's not being placed in the right spot. This sort of well, it's not a mountain, but this raised part here is literally too far over, because if you were to build, it would try and build directly slap bang in the middle of this, in this line. And so you've got this literal thin piece that you can't block, walls off in here like so, because they will literally just come straight past it and it will do absolutely nothing. So I have left this open. We've got a couple of tar pits and some broadsides in here just to catch anything that may possibly try to come round this direction. So that is fine. If you do get any of the lobbers or flingers that decide they want to take a long route round, which they can occasionally do, then we do have 2 tar pits and 2 launchers over here as well to hopefully catch any stragglers and fling them over into the water. So that is pretty much it really for the Devil Amplifier. It is called the Devil Amplifier for that very reason, that it is an absolute devil to try and get it set up properly. I mean, the spawn point on this side is pretty okay. Don't really get very much coming through it, and we don't get very much coming through from that way over there. The only places that they are really ever any trouble is this tile here and all of these pieces. So hopefully having all of these electric fields up will take care of them. So that is our Devil amplifier. Hopefully this will help you out. It's done pretty well for me in my endurance runs, but hopefully it's going to help you out as well. If it does, don't forget to drop a like down below, smash that subscribe before you go, and if you turn on the notification bell, then you'll always get updated of all my content when it comes out. If you do buy anything from the Fortnite store, then please consider using code RiverFox, as it will help me out a great deal. And if you get the time, please check out my Discord and Twitter accounts. The links for those are in the description down below, along with the link for the Twine Peaks playlist, which will cover all of the endurance amplifiers and the Storm Shield defenses and builds as well. So until the next time, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, my friends.